Hello, welcome to another video by homestylecustoms.com. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to add text to our new shape monograms that can be personalized. So this is a collection of shapes where we add icons on one, and then we have this cool swirl design in the other one. This here is the Apple monogram, which is great for teachers. So in classrooms, lots of nice usages for this, including like door signage. You could put them on the desk for the teachers, which is nice, personalized. I've seen these scaled down as well, so you can make coasters out of them, or you can make ornaments, things like that. Also included is this backing here, which is full of these icons, which are just scored. And then we have the apple in the center, which is just offset, so you could actually place one of these monograms right on top of there. And it makes a real nice 3D look. You can see them in the photos on Etsy as well. So let's get right into the video. I'm going to teach you how to add this text. So we're using Inkscape today. I'm an Illustrator user myself, so every time I do an Inkscape tutorial, I have to teach myself, which is good. But I find this program very difficult to maneuver. There's tons of bugs in it. So in this particular shape, there's lots of open paths, right? You can see that because I added a lot of scoring details, and the reason for that is I wanted to make it appear to be 3D, even though it's just one sheet of wood. So you'll see that my files doesn't actually show you in Inkscape, but you'll see that all the black, when you drop it into the Glowforge app, they're all grouped, which is the cut, red is scoring, and then green is engrave, and then blue is the release cut. So release cut goes at the end of the process, which it should, because everything in the center has to be cut out and scored and engraved first. Just because if you cut the outside first, some components of the middle might shift around when it's working. So that's the colors there. So you'll see that the black is all grouped together except for this one shape, which is, we'll call it the nameplate, okay? And that's where we're going to add the name. So let's get our type tool, and we're going to add our name. So for this example, I'll use my wife's name. This is the clerk. She's a teacher. And I like using a nice condensed font. I use Gotham. You could find this anywhere. Bold condensed. So I like it nice and crisp, modern. So on Inkscape, you hold Control to keep the proportions of the text. If you don't hold Control, it looks like that, right? So you want to keep the proportions. So hold Control down. And what you want it to do is you want it to hang just over the edges of the nameplate. And then what's nice about condensed font is if you stretch it, it still looks good. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit here, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So right now it's just hanging over the edges of the nameplate, okay? And that's what we want. So that looks good there. So the first step is you want to create, you don't want this to be text anymore. So what you want to do is you want to go to path at the top, and you want to click object to path. So once you click that, this is no longer text. You're not going to be able to edit it anymore, okay? So now that it's all a graphic, okay? So now what you want to do is you want to ungroup it. So you want to go to Object, Ungroup. So you'll see now each letter is individual, okay? So now this gets pretty weird, okay? So we're going to select each letter now. So you could do this by holding Shift and clicking each letter like I just did. You could highlight everything like that, and it's going to select everything for you, okay? So now that all that's selected, what we want to do is we want to union all the text together. So it's kind of weird that we're putting it back together, but for some reason, that's how Inkscape works. Okay, so now we have that. We have this, right? The nameplate. So what we want to do is we want to select both at the same time. So click the text, which is now an object that's been unioned. Hold down Shift and select the nameplate, okay? Now that you have those two selected, what you want to do is you want to go back up to Path and you want to click Difference. And what that's going to do, it's going to reverse the colors, but you'll see that it joined it to the main design. So come down to your fill area and your stroke area. So click on Fill first, and you want to hit the X, right? You don't want it to be filled. Next, go to Stroke, and you want to hit Color, okay? So there you have it. So now it's all added, it's one graphic. The reason we weren't able to use union on this, like you would see in some of my other videos, is because we're dealing with some open paths and things like in throughout the design, which would cause it to do some funky stuff. So that's how you do it. This looks different than this stuff because of the stroke weight. So you could come here. I think this is it here. So if you knock it down, I think it's 0.5, which was the original design. So yeah, so now it's 0.5. So that's good. That's good. So everything's one object now. So when you cut, it's going to cut perfectly. It's going to cut in between all this here, and it's going to drop it out, just like the examples. So there you have it. Also, some other stuff is all this stuff here can be edited as well. You could just remove it, delete it, and then add your own text there, and then just convert your text, right? Convert it to a path. If you want to update this, I've seen people and myself have done like birthdays. You could do like teacher's birthday or something, just to really customize it. Or you could add like the grade, so you could put grade and then grade number 4. But it's basically just adding text and then converting it to an object. So I'm not going to go through that. But that's basically how you do it. And it's going to be the same method for the other version as well, which is the squirrels. And after that, you should be good. So just File, Save As, and you're going to want to save it as an SVG. So you could just make up another name, Mr. Clerk, and then save it. Okay, and then that's going to save the file. Import that into the Glowforge app, and you should be good to go. Just remember though to score red, engrave green, blue is the last cut, okay, and black's cut, but blue is last. Okay, thank you so much for watching another video by homestylecustoms.com. If you need any help or assistance, always please feel free to reach out. You can find me on Facebook, Matthew DeClerc, or just search or visit our Etsy store, and you could shoot us a message on there. Lots of ways to get a hold of us. Facebook page, email info@homestylecustoms.com. Thank you so much, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.